Hi, and welcome to another class. I just came out of the garden. I've been planting flowers and clearing out areas for a good few hours and just felt like my body was scrunched in. And so this practice is going to help me and you open up, especially through the hip flexors and the shoulders, and just all around get our body moving again. It's great, again, if you've been sitting, maybe you just woke up, anytime that you just need to get out of this position and into a nice, strong, straight postural position. So for supplies today, I'm going to be using 2 yoga blocks. You can use books, anything that's somewhat, and you can go without these. If you don't have anything, it's not a huge deal. It just is going to give you a little more space if you need it. I've also got 2 blankets. You could use towels as well. One of them I've got folded that I'm going to rest my head on at some point. The other one is rolled up. So I got those 2 things, and then as well I have a yoga bolster. You can as well use pillows. You could use, I've got 2, so you could have 2 handy to see what is going to work for you. And I think we're ready to go. So if you need to pause and grab your supplies, please do so. And we'll get ready to start. So we're going to start in standing today. I'm going to keep my feet about hip distance apart. Maybe we'll just wiggle our legs, our arms, shake it out a little bit until we can come to a place of standing. Bring your hips back just a little bit over your heels. Bring your ribs in. Shoulders relaxed. And we're going to take 10 nice deep breaths here. Just filling your lungs, your chest, your belly as much as you can. And if you'd like, you can open your mouth and let the air out through your mouth, or you can breathe in and out through your nose, whichever feels good. Take another one. You can close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, but we're just starting to bring ourselves into our bodies, into this space where we're at. As you continue nice, deep, slow inhales and exhales, it may take a little time to get there. Just naturally relax and let your breath follow, okay? So as you find yourself becoming a little more relaxed, maybe you can envision your breath starting in your belly and moving out into your arms, down into your legs, up through your head. And then as you exhale, coming back into center, kind of like a starfish, inhaling the air coming from the belly out through the limbs, up through the head. And as you exhale, relaxing back into center. All right, a couple more. Maybe you even can move if you feel so inclined. As you inhale, expanding. And as you exhale, contracting back to center. All right, let's take about 2 or 3 more. Big inhale. Fill the belly, fill the chest. And exhale. Back to center. Good. 2 more, just like that. And last, inhale. And exhale. All right, from here, we're just going to move our arms. Again, as we inhale, just take our arms up, reaching. Press your feet into the floor, fingertips to sky. Exhale, release back down. Let the weight drain down through your feet. Good. Inhale, reaching, feet down to the floor, hands up to the sky. And exhale, let the weight fall down through the feet. Good. 1 more. Inhale, reach up. And exhale arms down. All right, let's move to our neck and shoulders. Again, let's just shake out the arms and the shoulders. All right, coming back to our standing position. I'm going to take my right ear to my right shoulder. I'm going to let my head be really heavy. And then from there, I'm just going to move my head around gently. Just feeling all the muscles and bones and whatever you feel there without pain. If you feel any pain, bring it up a little bit and don't move as far. So don't let pain enter our picture here. All right, now we're going to take our chin to chest. And again, let your head be heavy. You can move your head around if you'd like. Just feeling all the different spots there. And then your other ear to your other shoulder. And again, just moving. We're just loosening, stretching, saying hello. All those feelings in our neck. All right, let's go ahead and bring our head up to center, and let's move to our shoulders. We're going to do some shoulder rolls, and I want you to think about as we do it, we could just do it first like this, so your shoulders just going around in a circle, mostly this top part here, and then the other way, and feel what that feels like. Because now I want you to take a little deeper, and can you move your attention into your shoulder blades? So as you come forward, your shoulder blades are wide, and then they move up, and then your shoulder blades come together and move down. So now, rather than being only here in the tops, I've now moved back into the shoulder blades, all right? So this will help release some tension in that area as if you were gardening and leaning over. All right, let's change direction. So as you go back and up, your shoulder blades are together, up, apart, and down, apart. Together, up, apart, and down. Very good. Sometimes you may not feel like those shoulder blades are moving much, but that's okay. We're making some brain pathways to that area of our back. All right, very good. All right, shake it out again. And then let's just take our feet a little wider, and I just want you to very loosely, side to side, let your arms swing, hitting all kinds of things back here. Curtains, whoop, there you go. You know, as I was out gardening and I finished up and was getting ready for this class, I thought, you know, planting a garden is really a lot like life. So as we go through some of these exercises, we're going to talk about that. So I don't know if you like gardening or planting flowers or a vegetable garden or whatever, but there are a lot of parallels to our life. All right, very good. Go ahead and bend your knees. Just getting some movement side to side. All right, very good. Slowly bring that back. We'll bring our feet a little bit closer together, and let's do some more side to side. So I'm going to inhale, left arm up. And as I exhale, I'm going to take a nice side bend here to the side. Now, I want you to think about here. If you can, think about your shoulder blades again, all right? So my left arm is up. I want to take that shoulder blade nice and wide, nice and open. And then maybe my other shoulder blade, I might just press in towards my spine a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of movement into that thoracic spine, that spine between our shoulder blades. Very good. Continue breathing. Take another inhale and exhale. Very good. All right, come on back up. And let's inhale the other arm up. And as we exhale, we'll go to the side there. So same thing here. So my right shoulder blade, I'm going to just pull it wide. Makes a nice long side here. And my inside shoulder blade. I'm just going to press a little bit towards my spine. So gardening and life, the parallels between. All right, take another breath here. Very good, and come on down. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into our back body and stretch a little bit. So I've got two options here. I happen to have a table right here. If you have a couch, a chair, a counter, or you could even use the wall, all right? So if you use the wall, you're going to be like this, both hands against the wall. I'm going to go to my table, and we're going to walk our feet back so that the feet are pretty much under the hips, all right? If this bothers too much back here, then you can come up, all right? We want a nice, strong back and nice straight legs. So if you find yourself having to bend, bring yourself up, this is great too. And I want you to stretch forward, all right? So our arms are straight. And as you take some breaths here, again, I want you to think about your breath coming from your center, from your belly. And as you inhale, moving back through your hips, down through your feet, and out through your fingertips. And then exhale, relax, good, inhale. So going back to that starfish breathing. Great stretch for your back, the backs of your legs. And continue there. So gardening. If you've done any gardening, you know that it takes a lot of planning. Continue breathing here. You've got to map out where you're going to plant what. You've got to prepare the soil. You've got to till it up or use your hoe or shovel. Loosen up the dirt. Maybe put some fertilizer in. All the preparations before you plant. That's usually the hardest part, physically, right? So planning and preparing. Think of a project that you take on in life, and it's the same thing. You've got to plan, you've got to map it out, you've got to spend a lot of time before you take any action. All right, one more breath here. And as you exhale, let's walk the feet forward and come up to standing. All right, let's shake it out. One more standing thing before we move on to some floor poses. We're going to take, it's a little coordination, a little balance, a little fun. So we're going to do this 10 times. And as we inhale, and you can do whatever you want with your arms, but we're going to come up as you inhale up onto your toes. You can raise your arms if that feels good. And as you exhale, slowly come down as slow as you can, all right? So this is kind of hard, maybe, interesting. Just pay attention to what happens. How slowly can you go down? How high can you go up? It's just, there's no right or wrong, and there's no judgment for yourself, right? Whew. Very good. All right. Stretching out the toes, the calves. Good. Sometimes you can go really high, right? Sometimes not so much. Sometimes you can come down slow, sometimes not. Whatever happens, it's all right. So we've got everything planned. Keep going. And now it's time to take action. So we get our seeds, we plant the seeds, we water them, we depend on the sun for light. So we take the action. Good. Let's do 2 more coming up. Now, 1 more. Good. And exhale down. All right. Shake your legs out. I'm going to turn to the side here because we're going to go ahead and come to the floor. I'd like you to do it very carefully. I am going to step my right foot forward, step back, and then lower my left knee. And this is where we're going to stay. We're going to do some work here in a lunge, and this is where I'm going to use my blocks or books Or like I said, you do not have to. You can stay like this, okay? So I'll give you some options. But I'm going to walk my front foot forward so I can get a little bit of an angle here on this part of my front leg. You see that? So it doesn't matter how far you go. If this is enough, that's great. So I just want you to find your spot, not too much, not too little, by walking that foot forward. Now, this foot, I want you to press your heel in and pull that thigh bone back into your hip. I don't know if you can see this, but this is just hanging out. This is when I'm going to press my front heel in and pull this thigh back. Look at that, all right? So like I said, you can stay here. If you'd like, you can come down. You can even come down to the floor, but I'd like you to have some room. I think I have short arms, so and what we're going to do from here, you're still pressing that front foot into the floor, and I want you to take your hips and you're going to move them side to side. Let's see if I can go this to the front. Side to side, okay? It's a very small movement. Your knee stays fairly stable. Most of the movement is in your pelvis and your hips, all right? So since we spent all day crouched down or in a, seated position, we're going to move those hips side to side. A little variety of movement. All right, keep going. You're still breathing. You can go as slow and as fast as you'd like. Side to side. All right, so we have prepared our garden spot. We have taken action by our planting and our caring for our garden. Now what happens? Now it's time to let go. We've got to let go of our expectations and see what happens. All right, a couple more here. We have to have faith. All right. All right. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and bring my other knee back. And then I'm going to step the other foot forward. All right. You might need to see if you can do it without hands. If you can't, use your hands. You can use the block or the wall, a chair, whatever near. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to walk my front foot forward until I feel a nice elongation of my back leg. All right, here we go. I'm going to press that heel into the floor here and pull that femur back into the hip. Can you see that? All right, so I'm nice and strong. And then from there, just moving the pelvis back and forth. And can you see my knee? My knee is not really moving. The only thing that's moving is right here. Keep breathing. So, letting go of the expectations. We have faith, we have hope, we have patience, we have tender loving care. All right, but we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if the seeds are going to sprout. We don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to get enough light. We just don't know. We have to wait and see. So we have to let go of expectation. And isn't that the truth in life? Sometimes our expectations cause us a lot of unhappiness. So let's learn how to accept. All right, a couple more here. All right, one more side to side. Very good. So the purpose of that move was, if we're in the garden, let's say we're in the garden, I spend a lot of time like this, tending, fixing. So we're getting a lot of this movement, but not a lot of side to side, thus the side to side, okay? All right, let's move on to, now that we've kind of moved that area around, we're gonna do some releasing. So I'm gonna take my pillow or my bolster, and I'm gonna put it up here. This is where my head is gonna be. And I'm gonna take my blanket to lay my head on. Just like that. Then I'm going to take, and I'm going to be on my back, and I want the edge of my pillow or my bolster right at the bottom of my ribs, right at the bottom of my shoulder blades, all right? Right about my bra line if you're a girl. And then I'm going to place the blanket under my head and let my legs straighten out. All right, so I want you to check your lower ribs here. What we don't want is our ribs jutting out. We want our ribs to be able to come down. So if you need to move a little bit, move that bolster a little bit higher onto your back so that your ribs are sinking down, and that allows these muscles to relax. Just my blanket. And we're going to take about 10 breaths here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my palms up, which makes a nice opening for the front of my chest here. And I'm going to allow my body to relax. So maybe we go back to that starfish breathing. It's coming from your center. So let your belly take in the inhale and move it out through your hands, out through your feet, even up through your head. And then as you exhale, nice deep relaxation. So it's a very subtle movement of energy, actually, in breath. In and out through the nose. So our garden, once we've let go of expectation, and then all of a sudden things start growing and your vegetables are producing, or maybe the flowers are blooming. And we have to take that time because it's fleeting, right? The flowers aren't in bloom forever. It's a reminder to enjoy the present moment. Take the time to enjoy the garden. Smell the flowers. Look at their beautiful colors. Pick the vegetables, the fruit. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. But we have to take the time to do it, or they'll be gone. It's a fleeting moment, isn't it? As the same as life. Moments are fleeting. We need to be present in each and every moment. Take a few more breaths here, really letting your legs be heavy. Let your hips, your pelvis sink down into your mat, into the floor, into the earth. Your lower body is heavy and relaxed. And relax your jaw, your neck as well, and your shoulders. Any tension, let that go with each exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And last one. Nice long exhale as you continue to relax. All right. All right, I'm just going to slightly roll to my side and push myself up to protect my neck there. And I'm going to take my pillow or my bolster, I'm going to take it down to the foot end because I'm going to rest my feet on it. I'm going to take my head blanket here, and I'm going to come back onto my back. So for this one, I've got, again, some options. We're going to do a figure 4. So if you're familiar with that, it's where we cross we'll start with our right leg over our left. Now, options are, so this is a nice stretch for right on our outer hip. Sometimes, if your foot is on the floor and you cross over, you can feel the stretch already, and that's perfect. All right, so we want to feel something here. So if this is good for you, stay here. All right, Some of us might need a little bit more. Thus, I'm going to put my foot on the bolster. So I've got one foot, there you go, one foot on the bolster, and I'm going to cross it over. That might be enough for you right there. All right, if you've got more space, you might want to lift up. I'm going to go ahead and lift that left foot off the bolster, and I'm going to place my hands around the back of my thigh. So out of those three positions, see if you can find something where, as you press this knee towards the wall, you feel a stretch there in your outer hip. Relax your shoulders, and we're going to take 10 breaths here again. I'm going to leave my crossed over foot a little bit flexed. So this is a restorative pose, and yet we've got a little bit of action. Nice deep breaths. Finding any spots of tension. See if you can relax those areas. Shoulders are an easy one, especially if you're holding your leg up. I find my shoulders moving in towards each other or in towards the midline. I'm going to relax my shoulders down towards the earth. Relax your jaw. Check your forehead. Let the skin of your forehead relax. Good, 2 more breaths. All right, on your next exhale, go ahead and lower on down, uncross the feet, and we'll go to the other side. So again, and this side might be different. Find the spot that works for you. Foot can be on the floor, on your bolster, or lift it up off. Good, 10 deep breaths here. Again, I want you to think about your breathing. Being like a starfish, coming from the center out into the limbs, the head, the tail, and as you exhale, relaxing everything back towards center. Relaxing the shoulders. Good, 3 more. Nice deep breaths, filling your belly, your chest. Relaxing on the exhale. Very good. On your next, as you exhale, go ahead and bring the feet down, uncrossing. Nice stretch of the hips. All right, last pose here. We're going to leave our pillow or our bolster right there. I'm going to roll to the side here. I'm going to leave my blanket there for my head, and I'm going to take my rolled towel down here. It's going to be about at my shoulder blades. So there's some options here, and you can adjust as you depending on how your back feels. You might need a smaller size roll, so you would just go ahead and unroll it a bit. So you might have to adjust that. I'm going to go with the full roll of my blanket, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down on my side first, because I want this blanket to be right in my armpit. All right, so my armpit is right above that blanket, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn over. So I've got the bolster under my knees. I've got my rolled blanket right about the bottom of my shoulder blades. Again, it's probably right about the bra line. If you need to make that roll smaller, please go ahead and do so. The other thing I'm gonna find is that this bothers my neck. And so I'm gonna double up on my blanket here to raise my head up a little bit. That's a little bit nicer on my neck. All right, a nice chest opening. I'm gonna place my palms face up on the floor, back of hands on the floor. And I'm gonna relax. This is our Shavasana. Really nice on the back. Again, if we've been folded forward, we're gonna take our spine into a nice extension here. Opening up the front of our body and giving our back body a chance to open up as well. Let's go ahead and close your eyes. All right, be sure to, let's go to our back. I want you to feel your back. Let your back release down into that rolled up blanket. We don't want to tense. We don't want to tense back there. If you feel tenseness in your back, you're probably better off to take this whole roll out and just lie on your back. So let's just see if we can relax into that roll. So let your shoulder blades relax. Your shoulders are falling towards the floor. Your arms are heavy. And for your next few exhales, take your attention to your low back. And see if you can relax with each exhale. The lower back, making your pelvis heavy. Relax the front of the ribs, let them fall towards the spine. And again, check your jaw, relax your jaw, your tongue. Relax your eyes. What does it feel like to let your eyes relax back into their sockets? And your forehead is soft. I'm going to let you continue here for as long as you'd like. When you decide to come out of this, first thing you might do is roll over onto your side and remove the round folded or the rolled up blanket, and then lie back on your back without the rolled blanket for just a few breaths. Thank you for joining me today as we looked at the parallels between gardening and life, planning, preparing, taking action, letting go of expectation, and then enjoying the moment, the fruits of our labors. So don't forget to take time and smell those roses. Thanks for practicing with me today. We'll see you next time.